the Restaurant Finance Podcast. I want people to know that we're trying to talk about finance because we don't need to tiptoe around it. It's a topic that's going to be something that's on everyone's mind. You talk to any restaurateur, finance is always on their mind. Let's not hide from that.
Welcome to Digital Hospitality. I'm your host, Shawn Walchef. This is a Cali BBQ Media production coming to you from Create in Nashville, Tennessee. Shout out to Informa. Thank you for allowing us to come and talk to owners, operators, technologists, and all of the people that power this industry forward. Emerging restaurants. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, put Create on your list for places to visit next year. It's coming to Southern California. I got to spend quality time with some people that I care about in this industry and made new friends also. Today we get to welcome Ty Wilson, founder of Tab Commerce, and James Tice, growth officer. Is that right?
Close enough.
Close enough. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. I am really excited to have you on because we believe deeply in our digital hospitality thesis is that every business needs to build digital first, especially brick and mortar businesses like restaurants, and every business is in the hospitality business, whether they know it or not. We also believe that everyone is in the storytelling business and no one's coming to tell your story. High level, Ty, tell us what Tab Commerce does.
Sure. So we started as a back office platform for restaurants working on AP and invoice processing, but today we're a corporate card specifically built for restaurants. We do a lot of things around the corporate card, offering higher limits, extended payment terms, more control and automation, and then just better support. So we say that we're bringing hospitality to restaurant financial services.
Awesome. And how did you find this guy sitting next to you?
It's a funny story. He cold called me.
He cold called
me.
Stop it.
He tried to sell us payment processing service, which we used
Successfully.
You closed him?
Oh, yeah.
He
One
closed
call?
me.
Are you one call closed?
It was pretty close. He offered me a job in the contract negotiation phase, which ultimately led to the reason why I reached out.
Really?
Yeah.
Get out of here. Bring me back to the call.
Yeah, it's funny. At the time, I was working for a payments business that was smaller than the competitors of companies like Stripe.
Yeah.
And what I would do is I would have all of my competitors' LinkedIn pages on my monitors, and I'd refresh it throughout the day and see who would like the posts. I can't compete with Stripe's marketing, but I can compete with getting to their leads faster than they can. And Ty liked a post by Stripe. 45 seconds later, I gave him a phone call and tried to pretend like we had met before. We hadn't. And then we sat down. But the funny thing was understanding and learning more about Tab and the restaurant industry, having, immense experience growing up in the restaurant industry. We just kind of hit it off immediately. And it wasn't until a couple months later that the opportunity kind of arose. And that's where we decided to really kind of lock in and build what we are building today.
So full disclosure with the audience, Tab Commerce is working with Cali BBQ Media. We've been doing some really cool things. We're fortunate to have a good growing number of brands in our portfolio that we believe in, emerging technology brands for the restaurant space. You guys have embraced uncomfortability, I think, better than most. Can you share what have you been doing here at this conference with a little bit of our guidance, but pretty much all on your own?
Yeah, I think there's nothing more uncomfortable than not building your business. So any way for us to kind of go about it was really what brought us to Cali BBQ and sitting down with yourself, Shawn, and trying to understand what it is that we could be doing that's maybe outside the box.
Yep.
There's so many things in front of you. It feels like you're drinking from a fire hose, but I think you hit the nail on the head. Every restaurant has a story.
Yep.
We want to share that story. We have a story, right? And I think people want to connect with other people and understand that, hey, maybe that circumstance that they're going through right now, it seems so unique.
Yes.
But it isn't. It's something that other people have gone through before. We're sitting on the side of things with a lot of finance experience. Ty obviously growing up in the restaurant industry, working in investment banking, myself on the fintech side of things. We're trying to demystify a lot of the questions that people are asking around finance and bringing it back to some core fundamental restaurant values like the guest experience, like investing in people. And I think you were fortunate enough to meet you, and you gave us that push to say, hey, go meet some people, go talk to them, record it. It doesn't have to be big, beautiful production. It can be simple because it's a story that speaks. It's the message that comes through. And well, we've been getting uncomfortable talking to a couple of people here. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think what's exciting for me is obviously we lean into story, and story is personal. Something that we all have to be okay looking stupid, sounding stupid, but knowing that this is something that we believe in. This is what we wake up every single day to do. Ty, what have you learned in these 8 episodes that you've recorded? Strengths, weaknesses, things unexpected?
It's gone way better than I expected.
Yeah.
Actually. And when we first met, I was, very uncomfortable with the thought of speaking about myself and just being on camera.
Like, let's just talk about Tab. Let's just talk about the brand. I'm like, Ty, let me tell you some disappointing news, but we're not going to do that. All right.
And we've taken I think it feels like a 360 where before we almost prided ourselves in saying, we're just going to be focused on the company and we're just kind of purveyors of this business. And you've pulled us right out of that shell. Yeah. And I think it's a huge shift for us. And after today and yesterday, when we have done 8 episodes so far, it feels very good. Yeah. It feels like the right thing to do, and it's very enjoyable. Yeah. So I'm grateful for you and looking forward to what we do with this.
I think one of the biggest myths, I remember when we started the show in 2017, was people would say, oh, there's already enough podcasts. And, now in 2025, there's probably over 2 million to 3 million podcasts. It seems like there's a new podcast every day. What people don't understand is that it's not that there's so many products, because there are a lot of products, a lot of podcast products. But what people don't understand is what matters is the craft and making a dedication to quantity, speed, and consistency, and knowing that this is just a form of communication.
Yeah.
If you can have a great conversation with someone that runs a restaurant, 1-to-1 or 2-to-1, why not share that with one other person, 2 other people, maybe 20 other people, maybe 40 other people are interested in that specific brand, that specific concept, and maybe that leads to another opportunity.
Totally. And most of the guests that we've had on have never been on one before.
Yeah.
Right. So
there's I told you, right?
There's a lot of podcasts, but the percentage of people that have been on a podcast is very low.
Yeah.
Everyone has a story. Everyone has a background. And it's all different. And there's common threads between them.
Yep.
And so, yes, maybe there's a lot of podcasts, but most people have not told their story, and podcasts are a good platform for them to do that.
Yeah. Another way to look at it is do you need a website? Yeah. Everyone needs a website, but everyone really needs a podcast, because podcast is just a vehicle that allows you to get your message out in audio, video, words, and images.
Yeah. And I think for us too, we're in the finance space. This is traditionally a part of the industry that has no face.
Yep.
We've grown up with restaurants. We've worked with restaurants. We're proud to be in this industry, and we're also working in an area of the business that everyone has to be in. Every restaurant needs some level of financing. Yep. They're going to have a credit card. They're going to have to reconcile expenses. But it can be scary because you have a big bank that doesn't understand you, right? They're not designed for you. And I think a great example of that is if us as a technology company were to go get, let's say, a line of credit, we're going to get the same off-the-shelf generic product that any restaurant would probably get as well. And that's crazy to me, right? They're so unique. They need to be treated like they're unique. And for us, a big part of what we're doing is when we sit down with customers, we need to know their story.
Yeah.
If I'm going to underwrite a business, I need to know that story. I need to know the fact that you have 5 separate LLCs for your 20 locations. You also have a tire repair shop. You got a laundromat business.
Yes.
You got, a construction business that's growing as well. And so when we're going to underwrite that, I need to understand that. I need to know that. That's important to me. I can't just look at these as individual circumstances of how much cash was sitting in this balance at this certain time. It's not restaurants. So even on something as binary as finance, the story is what matters.
Yeah.
And that's what's been really cool for us is whether you are a COO, a CEO, you are someone in the procurement team, you're someone on the HR side of things, you're going to have an impact on the financial side of your business. You're going to have a story, and that story is going to be the reason why there's impact.
I think one of the most exciting things for me, having, gentlemen, leaders like you doing this type of work, is that money is uncomfortable for all humans, but the business content that drives me, that's why we created Cali Barbecue Media, is I know there are so many people that want to learn and they want to have that uncomfortable conversation of tell me how much money does your restaurant make? Tell me what your profit margins are. Let's talk about the things that typically most people don't talk about, not as a way to expose anyone, but as a way to learn and to grow.
For sure. And one thing we noticed when we did the podcast was we would have a finance tilt to it, but they would quickly go into all the things that led to those numbers.
Yes.
Right? So they would say the balance sheet, the income statement, the cash flow statement, 3, 4, or 5 months past the investment you made in your people or your menu or your experience or marketing. And so the conversation went to that. And that excited us because that's what really matters. That's what excites us. The finance side is there to support that and to guide it and help that and really help them kind of do their best work. But all the conversation shifted towards the people and the guest experience.
So what's the name of the podcast?
I don't know yet. I think
We're just recording at this point, Shawn.
We're just recording.
we did a few episodes and we weren't.
Have I taught you about the
sure.
4 Ps yet?
No.
We haven't had the 4P conversation.
We're more fans of just running, making mistakes, figuring out.
I noticed. I love it. We're all in on it.
No, I think the core and short and simple will be, the Restaurant Finance Podcast. I want people to know that we're trying to talk about finance because we don't need to tiptoe around it. It's a topic that's going to be something that's on everyone's mind. You talk to any restaurant, any restaurateur, finance is always on their mind. Let's not hide from that. But to Ty's point, these financial decisions are about bringing hospitality. They're not just to keep you up at night. They're not just because you love tracking down your employee for receipts. At the end of the day, these are people decisions that come from binary decisions, which is your financing.
Amazing. You guys launched a YouTube channel. We're going to put a link in the show notes. Please go follow Tab on YouTube. Follow their podcast. Once that is live, we'll put a link in there as well. Follow them on social. Connect with them on LinkedIn. If you want to be a guest on their show, reach out. Who should they reach out to?
Reach out to myself. It's james@tabcommerce.com. We'd be more than happy to speak with anyone. We're really just looking forward to sharing your story, learning more about kind of what it is that you do on a day-to-day. And at the end of the day, helping others learn from that and learn from your experience.
There it is. We do a live show every Wednesday, every Friday. It's called Rising Tides Live. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, we want you to be a part of that. Go to betheshow.media/rising tides. As always, stay curious, get involved, and don't be afraid to ask for help. We'll catch you guys next episode. Thank you, gentlemen.
It's great.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you've made it this long, you are part of the community. You're part of the tribe. We can't do this alone. We started, no one was listening. Now we have a community of digital hospitality leaders all over the globe. Please check out our new series called Restaurant Technology Substack. It's a Substack newsletter. It's free. It's some of our deep work on the best technology for restaurants. Also go to YouTube and subscribe to Cali Barbecue Media. Cali BBQ Media on YouTube. We've been putting out a lot of new original content. Hopefully you guys like that content. If you want to work with us, go to betheshow.media. We show up all over the United States, some international countries. We would love to work with you and your growing brand on digital storytelling. You can reach out to me anytime at Shawn P. Walchef on Instagram. I'm weirdly available. Stay curious, get involved, and don't be afraid to ask for help. We'll catch you next episode.